Some things are just too good to miss. Earlier this year, Vicki and I were invited to Florence for the launch of the new £70,000 Maserati Quattroporte.
It's a four-door saloon, which, according to company boss Luca de Montezemolo, is not just one car, but two. A luxury limo for the week and a sports car for the weekend. Sounds interesting.
So, Victoria, darling, what do we actually think to the looks of the thing?
I think it is beautiful, really stunning, classy, just lovely.
I'm agreeing with you totally here. Makes you wonder where all the other big executives lost their passion and why we all just went, yeah, all right then. I mean, when it comes up behind you on the motorway, this great big sucking chrome mouth just comes bearing down on you. It makes you flinch and want to move out of the way.
Absolutely. I really like these little details here, these triple vents and the lovely alloy wheels. And I don't know whether you've seen this, but it's the most beautiful rear door I've ever seen. It's just so beautifully designed.
No, come back here. I've got something else to show you. I mean, the rump's probably not its best angle because those lights are a bit heavy-handed, but
yeah.
It's got the Maserati quad tailpipes, a real trademark, really powerful thing. And actually, having Maserati on your boot lid is actually quite cool.
So we both think that the Quattroporte is truly gorgeous, but it's going to have to be more than just pretty if it's going to really compete with established limos from the likes of BMW, Mercedes and Jaguar. Inside, the Quattroporte feels like a proper old Italian sports car. It's got that leather smell that you catch in your nostrils, and this beautiful deep wood just looks ace. And refreshingly, all the buttons do one thing and one thing only. If I want to switch the traction control off, I simply press one button. If I want to change the lights on this beautiful blue and silver instrument set, I press one button. It's so much better than BMW's iDrive system, and I nearly crash the car every time I'm fiddling with that. This, it's much more simple and the better for it. So in the front, it's a refreshingly nice place to spend time. What's it like in the back, Victoria?
It's very leathery back here with two wide-beam chairs that you can snuggle into, which adjust for extra comfort. Pull down the armrest and you not only get two cup holders, but also you get control of the front passenger seat, which you can slide forward if you need a bit more legroom. And then it becomes as spacious as an Audi A8 or a BMW 7 Series.
But as comfortable as it is, the bare stats are still pretty darn impressive. This car has got a Ferrari 400 brake horsepower V8 under the bonnet. It means it'll hit 171 miles an hour and do 0 to 60 in just over 5 seconds. Thing is, there's a couple of things that really get on my nerves, and this 6-speed sequential manual is one of them. Ugh. It's called Duo Select and it's supposed to be tuned to operate in automatic really smoothly. But the trouble is, unlike a normal automatic transmission that has a torque converter that can kind of stretch the moment between gears so that it's very, very comfortable, this is still a manual. It has to let go of the clutch and re-engage it. It means there's great gasping pauses between gear changes, and it's just not smooth for anybody concerned. Not very good for a limo that's going to be driven like this 90% of the time.
The ride isn't impressive either. The skyhook suspension doesn't give the velvety ride that it should, and heaven forbid I would spill my gin and tonic.
Quite frankly, folks, the Quattroporte doesn't seem to work as a weekday limo. It's time to get out of town and see if it's much cop as a sports car. Which is exactly what we did.
Well, actually, that's what I did. Once I booted young Tom out of the hot seat and into a cold one. Sport mode, turn the traction control off and the car immediately sharpens up. The steering becomes smooth and you can really begin to stretch the legs of that yummy V8 engine. In manual mode, the gear changes are now fast and smooth, but I would love a gear stick and a clutch instead of these paddles. I would also like beefier brakes because this car may be fast, but it's also very heavy. That said, the Quattroporte certainly feels more competent out of the urban sprawl than in it. So much so that it would be rude for me not to play with it a little while longer.
Whenever you're ready, Vicki. Whenever you're ready.
Sorry, Tom.
She came back then. Anyway, Maserati Quattroporte, what do we actually think of it? Well, I've driven it through town, and the gearbox and the suspension, it just doesn't work. Victoria, what's it like out there in the wilds?
Well, it works much better as a sports car, but it is still almost a 2-ton piece of machinery.
Well, does it have the twin souls that Maserati's talking about?
No, because it doesn't work fully as a limousine and it doesn't work fully as a sports car.
So do you still want one?
With those looks, yes.